I normally don't show my profit and loss on my trades, but I want you guys to see this because I've got a little math lesson for you today. The importance of trying to hold runners. And we're going to get into that in just a minute. Hey guys, happy Friday. It's December 12th. We're in a trade right now. Thought I'd do something a little different and show you guys the setup. A lot of us caught it. Right here, I've got the purple diamond, and I'm the only one that has access to these alerts right now. The purple diamonds are just break and retest signals of any of the levels or zones. You can see this and catch this on your own without the signals. The signals are just something I'm testing to help people catch these. But here you go. Here's the break of S1. There's your retest and the rejection. So got in right here at 10 a.m. Some people caught this a couple minutes before, and we had a really quick flush. I am still in this trade. Right now, I'm up 35% on it. I've got my stop at break even, and we'll just see how far this can go. But let's take a look right here at what some of the people are seeing. So here's Aiden, 147 to 158 on this play. Here's Lance. He took the same play, 105 to 133. I haven't posted a screenshot yet, but mine is 111 to 136, and I'm holding runners. And here's Aiden again, 111 to 119, 147 to 158. And looks like Urban Organics got in on the action as well. So yeah, this is it playing out in real time. You can see we're getting several break-in retests of these levels, so we got a long way to go down. We'll see how far we can drop here, but I am up 40%, 42, 45, 47. I'm up 47% right now. 50. Yeah, the price is 168 right now. I got in at 111. So these setups are not hard to get into. You've just got to have the right levels and you've got to have the right signals. So yeah, there's our first setup for today. We'll be back here later. Happy Friday, everyone. It's December 12th. I'm Phil with the Trade Lab Discord, and we're looking at the 5-minute chart of SPY, and I've got my SRX indicator on the screen. If you want more information on TradeLab or on this proprietary indicator of ours, you can check the link in the description. We've got a full write-up on what this indicator does and pricing. It is extremely affordable, especially when you consider how much money this thing makes every single day. We're going to take a look at some killer trades today. I got in on this play and I rode this down all the way down to here. Should have held on to it because it went all the way down here and ended up being a 610% winner. Now let's walk through some quick math here. I did the 687 put on SPY. My entry was $1.11 with 10 contracts. I sold 8 of those for $1.36, which netted me a $200 profit in 50 seconds, which was 22.5%. Not only did I make $200 in profit, but I took all this risk off. I had 1,110 on this trade, and I took off $888 plus the $200 in profit. So at this point, I'm very close to being in a risk-free trade with these runners. Next up, I sold another contract for $1.85, and that netted me another $74, and it took another $111 worth of risk off the table. At this point, I'm in the trade with one contract. Follow the math. I have $111 at risk. That's if this contract goes to zero, I'll lose $111. But I'd already profited $274. So no matter what, I was going to walk away with a profit. Now, I was trailing this just a little too closely, And my final runner stopped out at 274. That was still an incredible run. That last runner made 147% in 27 minutes, and that was $163. And this is the thing that I really want you guys to pay attention to. The profit on one contract was $163. Up here, with a really nice scalp, I made $200, but that was on 8 contracts. Just holding these runners doubled my profit on the trade. So let's see what the total was here. $437. Now, if I would have exited everything here, that would have been $250. So that almost doubled the play, and it cost me nothing to hold on to this last contract. So the math is the key. I made $274 before the last runner closed. That means the final runner was already paid for. And this is why we hold runners. The home run is where the money hides. And here is where I got stopped out. There was a small pullback here, but then we kept dropping. I could have used the 8 EMA as a nice guide. I could have closed out right here. I wouldn't have ended up with 610%, but that's probably 500% right there. I'd be very pleased with that. And if you missed this first signal, there were still 2 more signals where you could easily get in on this. Now, there was a small play right here. This blue diamond is a bullish move, and we had a little pop to the upside. That would have probably brought you 20%, but one of the things that you have to take note of is the EMA right here. The EMA is our white line running through here. This is our 8 EMA. We were below that. And once I add in a bias filter to these signals, this type of signal wouldn't have even fired. And I also have this red line here, which is an additional bias filter that I'll be releasing shortly. And both of these were telling you that we're in a downward move. And you could see the bias filter is pretty interesting on its own. When we went above the 8 EMA here, and our bias filter at the end of this candle turned green, you can see the nice uptrend that we hit, and we look where we landed, S4. And if you're new to SRX, these levels were printed at 9:50 a.m. They didn't move. They haven't shifted. With some indicators, this level isn't going to print until we come down. We hit that, we reject, and then somewhere down here, the indicator decides that this was an area of resistance, and it marks this off. But that's not what SPY SRX does. These levels are set in stone at 9:50 a.m. Eastern Time. They don't move, they don't change. This level was here for everyone to look at way back here. And so you would have known to look at taking profits here. And that's another way to manage your runners. You get in on a trade like this, and this is essentially how I handled this. You get in on a trade like this, and you look at taking profits at your next level. And you can see this dotted line here. This is our pre-market low, and we hit that immediately after we got in this trade. And that's where I took my first bit of profit. I took my next bit of profit down here somewhere, and that's when we were at S2 and S3. So that was my next profit target, and S4 ended up being my final target. In the future, I'll know that I should continue holding and wait for that 8 EMA cross. So let's look at some of the other trades today. This is Lance, investing teacher on Discord, 105 to 133. Here I am at 1014 calling out this play right here. And we have plenty of other messages inside of our chat room. There's so many messages in there that we can't go through all of that, and that's why I'm just looking at the Post Your Profits channel. But this is a bad trader, that's his Discord name, and he went from $2 to $2.26 on a put. And here's Lance back at it again, 139 to 156, and then he stopped out at 145 in profit. And this was another very quick trade. He was in that for less than 10 minutes. Here's Celtic Trader. He took a lot of great trades today. 111 to 119, 147 to 158. These are all very quick. He's in and out within a minute or two. And then he's got a few more trades here, 167 to 174. And then he stopped out at break even, then 184 to 192, and he held a runner to 198. So great job there, Aiden. And then here's Lance. He says another SRX win, 12 in a row, 110. And here's Lance holding his runner, 124, and he stopped out at 155. So yeah, this is a very powerful system. These zones are statistically significant areas. Price likes to do things at these areas. That's why it's a great idea to have these on your chart. And again, link is in the description. And remember, if you have the ability to buy multiple contracts, then you can go level to level, taking profit a little bit at a time, and then holding one until you get a confirmed close over the 8 EMA. And I prefer to use the 5-minute chart. We have some people that use the 3-minute chart or the 1-minute chart or even the sub 1-minute chart. And whatever you feel comfortable with is perfectly fine. I like these more sustained moves, and the 5-minute chart is where I'm most comfortable at. We also had some great plays off of the previous day low. Right here, there's a break and a retest, and then we went down. And then right here, there's another one where we break down, retest, and again go lower. I wasn't interested in any of these plays because we also give you this max range low, and up here we've got a max range high. Now we can go beyond these ranges. If we look at the actual Discord message from 9:50 a.m., you'll see next to max expected range, it says that it has a 83.8% accuracy, and that's back tested for the last 3 years. That means there's an 84% chance that we will not breach that level. If we start breaking below or getting really close to these max ranges, I'm no longer interested in playing. That's why you don't see a break and retest play here. You could have played that as well, but I don't like to do break and retests of these 4 zones, which would be our most extreme zones. But there it is there. There's your break, there's your retest, and off we go. So lots of other good plays inside of here. Plenty of trades on the 1-minute and 3-minute chart as well. So if this interests you, we'd love to have you join us. Again, the link is in the description. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here again on Monday.